Hello, everyone. This is Malcatera 1, and this is my predictions for Strikeforce and N1 Global presents Fedor versus Silva. It's going to be the start of the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix, which is something I'm really excited about. It's going to bring everything back to how Pride used to do it, and the fact that the number two organization in the world is putting this together and has the depth of this kind of tournament is actually truly amazing. And when you really look at the participants in it, and you compare them to the fighters that they're missing from the UFC, there's not too many UFC fighters that I think would actually fare very well in this tournament. I mean, you got Cain Velasquez, of course. I think he more than likely could win the tournament. Shane Carwin will probably get gassed out, honestly. Frank Mir, there's a lot of great grapplers in this, and I think Frank Mir is past the prime. Brock Lesnar, I think, got exposed against Cain Velasquez. Junior Dos Santos probably has a shot, but he's only one clip away from getting knocked out. Um, Realistically, these are pretty much the best heavyweights in the world, and I think whoever wins this is has a true claim to being the pound for pound champion. Granted, with that being said, I think the UFC should grab whoever wins this tournament because seriously, whoever wins this tournament will deserve all the monikers as the best heavyweight in the world. So let's get started with the predictions. The first fight of the evening is going to be Shane Del Rosario. Actually, I'm wrong. It's not Shane Del Rosario. The first fight of the evening is actually Valentijn Overeem versus Ray Sefo. Um, Valentijn Overeem is a veteran sport. He's had over 50 matches. With that being said, he's a journeyman. He's barely got more wins than he does losses, but he has some quality wins. One of which over Randy Couture. So this guy definitely has some serious mixed martial arts. Um, he may not win every time, but he can put on displays to beat the best. And the opponent he's fighting is Ray Sefo. I was not familiar with Ray Sefo at all. I had to look him up. He's primarily a kickboxer. He definitely has amazing kickboxing credentials. And against Overeem, that might just be enough because Overeem is a kickboxer as well. However, Overeem does have some submission grappling. Sefo has only two victories in MMA out of his only two wins. His last fight was in 2009, and his first one was a KO head kick, and the second finish was a submission due to strikes. Um, so he definitely has a lot of power. He's a very well decorated kickboxer, but as far as MMA is concerned, I think Valentijn Overeem has the edge. I think he can win this fight in more places. Uh, I don't really see this going to the ground. I think this is going to be a glorified K1 contest, but I can see Overeem pulling this off, perhaps by submission, but I'm going to say by first round TKO stoppage. The next fight of the evening is Chad Griggs versus Gianpiero Villante. Um, Chad Griggs, he's an upcomer in the MMA scene, very fresh. He came off that upset win over Bobby Lashley, and that's how his name has been has grew to the point where people actually know who he is. Um, Valentin, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, Valentante. Um, don't know much about him. He hasn't fought on the big stage yet. This this will be definitely his first big fight. Um, I think that Valente he has a good record. He's 8-1. Um, this one's a toss up to me, honestly, because I really don't know enough about either fighters to make an accurate prediction. So I'm just gonna say Chad Griggs by decision for no other reason than I've seen the guy fight before. He beat Bobby Lashley, who um, had some quality wins in MMA. So I'm gonna go with Chad Griggs by decision. And then the third fight of the evening is Shane Del Rosario versus Lavar Johnson. This will be a pretty good fight, I believe. I think it's going to be a Muay Thai fight from the get-go. Both guys are great Muay Thai strikers. LeVar Johnson has proven that he can end a fight in a flash. Shane Del Rosario is an up-and-coming prospect. People see a lot of potential in this fighter. He's definitely been groomed. He's been fighting in the Show MMA, Show XC cards. This is really his first step up in the limelight to like major Strikeforce cards. And if he wins and somebody who advances in the tournament gets hurt, he will be the first alternate. As same with LeVar Johnson, whoever wins his match will be the first alternate. With that being said, I think Rosario will have the edge. I think he's well polished at this point of his career. These guys are both at similar paths. They're both up and coming heavyweights. I think both these guys can become big name heavyweights, but for right now, I think Rosario is the more polished of the two, and I think he will win this fight via second round submission. And then the co-main event of the evening is Andrei the Pitbull Arlovski versus Sergei Kharitonov. Andrei Arlovski is, of course, the bigger name fighter of the two. He's the former UFC heavyweight champion, which carries a lot of weight. Granted, he won the title when it wasn't that deep of a pool of heavyweights. But with that being said, he's had quality fights against some of the toughest names in MMA. He literally had Fedor Emelianenko on the ropes before he got knocked the hell out. But Pitbull is definitely still a well-respected heavyweight in the mixed martial arts community. With that being said, Sergei Kharitonov, he is the dark horse in this tournament. A lot of people in the United States don't know who he is, but if you don't know who he is, you need to look him up because he has some quality wins, some great fights. If you didn't watch Pride, he was a mainstay in the Pride scene. He then was in Dream. He's definitely, for the hardcore fans, a very tough fighter. He's got serious skills, and his boxing is Muay Thai, and he's got the Sambo, of course, as you would expect from a Russian. He's beaten Andrei Overeem, he's beaten Fabricio Verdum, he's beaten Pedro Rizzo, he's beaten Mike Russo, Ninja Hua. This guy is the real deal, and American fans don't know who he is. They will know who he is after this performance. He will knock out Andrei Arlovski in the first round. Andrei Arlovski is definitely in desperate need of a win. I think he's going to come out very aggressive. I think Kharitonov is going to exploit that. He's going to knock him out, and it's going to end Andrei Arlovski's perhaps his career, or at least his Strikeforce career, because I don't see Strikeforce keeping somebody who's been on such a losing streak. So I have Kharitonov by first round knockout. And then the main event in the evening is Fedor Emelianenko, the last emperor, versus Antonio Bigfoot Silva. This is a difficult match for me to predict. I'm a big Fedor fan. He's definitely one of the greatest fighters of all time. He came off his loss against Fabricio Verdum in a fight that I think he literally made a mistake, and he did it at the wrong time. And I think he would have won that fight if it wasn't for that one triangle choke. Antonio Bigfoot Silva is coming off his win over Mike Kyle, who almost pulled up the upset on him in the first minute of the fight. And Antonio Silva had to come back to win that fight by knockout. But it showed that Antonio Silva can be vulnerable to strikes, and I think Emelianenko is one of the better pure strikers in the heavyweight division. And of course, the Sambo is top notch. Antonio Bigfoot Silva is definitely the bigger fighter by far, but we see Emelianenko fight bigger fighters all the time, and he's always found a way to win. I just can't go against Fedor. I just think Fedor has by far the better skills, better MMA skills, and I think he's going to win this fight by a second round TKO stoppage. I think that he's going to catch him, and he's going to take up the ground, and then what Fedor definitely does very well is finish fights. He does not let it go to the judges often. He likes to take care of business before it even gets to the judges. So those are my predictions for Strikeforce and M1 Global's Silva and Fedor. For right now, my predictions, I've been 8-6 for the year. I went 3-2 for my UFC 126 predictions. So hopefully I can keep these predictions rolling, and I can separate myself from the 500 zone, especially with these predictions right here. And I will be back with Fitch versus Penn, hopefully sooner than later. I don't want to keep doing these videos the day of the fight or the day before the fight. I just happen to be going like that just because of my schedule. But I will try to get these videos up a lot earlier. And with that being said, have a good one. Later.